bad will Trump's trade war be for China's economy? Exports account for about 20% of China's GDP. Direct exports to the US account for 15% of total Chinese exports. It is difficult to estimate exactly how much China exports to the US via third countries. But let's assume, for argument's sake, that direct and indirect exports to the US together account for 25% of total Chinese exports. This means total exports to the US could be as much as 5% of Chinese GDP. With the industrial sector making up about 40% of China's GDP, this means exports to the US may be more than 10% of China's total industrial production. These are big numbers. What they imply is that Trump's trade war will hit the Chinese economy hard. This is even before we consider the second round effects of the new tariffs. China invests more than any other country in the world. 40% of Chinese GDP is investment in fixed assets. China is already sitting on massive industrial spare capacity. Trump's tariff will hit already depressed profitability and returns on investments. It will increase default rates in non-performing loans. Beijing will undoubtedly recapitalize the banking system if necessary, but it is difficult not to think that we will see a sharp slowdown in investment. Of course, Beijing will try to resort once again to fiscal stimulus. But as the deputy governor of China's central bank said last week, China's overall debt is now over 300% of GDP. This makes China one of the most indebted countries in the world. Trump's new trade war could well unleash the biggest economic crisis that China has had to face in 40 years. It might even be designed by the architects of Trump's trade war with this aim in mind. We live in a dog-eat-dog world, and China hawks around Trump might have decided that this is the only way to contain what many of them claim is an existential threat to the US. China has only itself to blame for not seeing this coming. Xi Jinping dragged his feet over dealing proactively with the housing bust. Will the chickens soon come home to roost?